What's your name and your position in the military?
Asa Leckie, and I was 18 Echo, Special Forces Communication Sergeant.
My name is Terry Dobbins Beck, and my position in the military was squad leader for Army Infantry Mortar Platoon.
My name is Kerry Gene Scar. I was a first-class radioman in the Navy.
My name is John Vasallo Jr., and my position when I was in the military was an ordnance officer for grounds weapons and munitions. I was a chief warrant officer.
My name in the military was Donald Impson, and I was a 55B ammunition specialist, which is basically a forklift driver loading trucks with ammo.
My name is Harry DeVoe. I was a combat engineer in the U.S. Army, 1st Infantry Division.
My name's Dave Duran. I was a radioman second class in the Navy.
My name is Peter Hamelink, and I was an electrician's mate second class in the United States Navy.
My name is Derek Green. I was an AAV mechanic, a corporal in the military, Marine Corps.
My name is Roy Moore, and I was a gunner's mate guns third class.
Full Frizzell. I was a sergeant first class, platoon sergeant.
Greg Weiniger. I was an E4 in the Navy.
What was your job and your responsibilities in your unit?
My primary job was an instructor. Our primary job was to go overseas and instruct foreign militaries and advise them so that the U.S. doesn't have to send their own military there. The radio systems and message encryption for the team. I was also ComSec custodian, so I handled the ComSec for some of the teams going downrange. And then my last assignment was I was a dog handler, multi-purpose special operations canine handler.
Why did you sign up for the military?
That's an interesting story. I started out working here at the lumber mill, the local lumber mill here, and thought that that's what I was going to do with the rest of my life because my dad worked there. And then after I graduated high school and went full time, I decided I was really not going to get anywhere doing that. So one day at lunchtime, I went home and called up a recruiter and told him to get me out of here.
Why did you sign up?
Well, I enlisted in the reserves when I still had a year of high school left, because I knew darn well I'd be drafted otherwise, because my number was probably going to be kind of low, and it was 55, my draft number. So I joined the Navy Reserve, did boot camp between my junior and senior year, did a first time going aboard a ship and after my senior year, and then went to Radioman A school there that fall in 66, 67, and went active in 67 and got off active duty in December 68.
So this video is going to be used to raise awareness, especially with the youth. Can you tell the youth what a draft is or what your draft number actually meant?
Draft, basically it was like involuntary military service. In other words, if you were drafted, you went down to selective service when you were 18, signed up for it, and if they needed you in the military, they would, you did a lottery, and whatever your number was, the lower your number, there's more your chance of going.
Can you name 5 things that you were grateful for in your experience serving? Like friends or skills?
A lot of good friends, my different skills I learned in the Navy. Above all, you learned how to grow up. That's the primary thing. You grew up. Like I say, friendship, got to travel a lot. And that was a big thing. And I liked sea duty. I really liked sea duty.
One, biggest one is grateful for my life. I think it saved my life joining the military. I was pretty much on a dead end road of some bad things going on. I'm thankful for the camaraderie that you wind up getting in the military. A lot of friendships were made there, and find out that you're one single person does not win a war or make things happen.
What makes this relationship with these military brothers different than friendships maybe with school friends or other longtime friends?
That's a really hard one to define, but when you have such a strong common bind, common goal, common mentality, it just grows tighter than blood, more than a sibling, because you've gone through the same things, you've supported people around you, you've been supported by people around you. It's just a really tight-knit family.
When you think back of your time in the service, what's one memory that stands out most? Whether it's good or bad, just one thing that stands out most to you.
I would have to say the day that Headquarters Marine Corps put out a message that I had been selected for warrant officer. So I was going to transition from a staff NCO to an officer in the coming weeks, coming months after that message was released. That was the biggest thing.
What about maybe some friends or skills or things like that you learned while you were in?
Yeah, made a lot of friends. A lot of them you cannot find after you get out. And like Greg Weiniger, he's local. We knew each other from the Navy and growing up, going to school together.
What do you think of when you have to think back of one memory, whether it's good or bad, that stands out to you the most of your time in the service? If you just had to say one thing.
I think when we pulled back into Pearl Harbor after Vietnam, and we all went to attention on the side of the ship, and as we passed a big aircraft carrier.
Could you name some things that you missed most while being away from home?
Home cooking has got to be one of them. I mean, Marine Corps food is not really the best food out there. Having a hot cooked meal at home, though, is pretty nice.
When I got out of the military, I worked in the oil fields in West Texas as a roustabout, a roughneck, and a driller. I worked there for approximately 8 years, and I came back up north. I worked in the woods for a while as a logger. Then I went into construction and developed a couple companies.
Tell me what your definition of a hero is.
A hero is somebody that just does their job every day, no matter what.
Do you see yourself as a hero?
No.
I do. Thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
My definition of a hero is somebody that takes action on an issue or a situation without giving it a second thought and without concern for their well-being to help others.
I think it has a large array of meanings to me, but probably the most easily recognized one for most people is a person who is willing to stand up against, stand up for somebody against some adversary or adverse situation, regardless of their own safety.
Do you view yourself as a hero?
I don't.
I do. Thank you for your service.